On your radar that do you think it's at least changed the game in the near term for the market?
On the private credit?
Just overall, I mean, if there are continued issues in private credit and the leveraged loan market, then the stock market's not going to take that well. I mean, you wouldn't think.
Yeah, I mean, Scott, the only thing that I don't know is how many chapters it's going to take to play out, because I mean, there's opacity, which is what is scaring people, but then there's real credit deterioration, which I don't think that's what's happening, and I think that's why Adam and all those had called it idiosyncratic. I'm kind of in that camp because high yield spreads have behaved, so I think it's more of is the flow of capital, because I think one of the biggest sort of allocations for alternatives has been private credit. It's going to make investors pause that, maybe this market it's not as easy a return as it looks.
You told me, I think, a couple of weeks ago that 7,000 on the S&P by the end of the year was realistic. Do you still think that we could get another 5%? That's what it looks like. It's 5% between now and then. Do we have that in us?
Scott, I mean, 5% is just an average fourth quarter from 1950 to 2024. But we have the Fed easing after an extended pause, so that's 1998 and 2024. So I think that 5% might be the base case. I bet you it's going to end up being more like 7 or 8% or even possibly 10%. So I think 7,000 is the low end of what we can end the year at.
Wow. And how much do earnings have to do with that?
I mean, earnings are going to matter, but it's been a good start. I mean, we're barely into earnings season. The banks have been good. 82% of companies are beating. There's a lot more visibility of demand and then less concerns about tariffs because we're kind of working our way through it. So companies have a better sort of visibility over the next 12 months. I think the outlooks are going to be good, and I think that's going to help stocks. And, I think there's a lot of room for multiples to still expand. So I don't think this market's that demanding.
I think